So I met an alien. He's kind of growing on me. At least he's not growing in me, you know, which was a concern for a little while.
I understood that reference.
Hi, I'm Jack, and welcome back, because today I'm going to give you guys a review for one of the biggest movies of this year, directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, Project Hail Mary. The movie stars Ryan Gosling, Sandra Hüller, Lionel Boyce, and James Ortiz, and amongst many others, and it follows Dr. Ryland Grace, who wakes up on a spaceship with no memory of how he got there, and as things start to make sense, he realizes he is on a very important mission to discover why this one sun hasn't died out, as Earth's sun is dimming, and so is affecting the rest of the stars in the galaxy. So he teams up with a creature named Rocky as they both set out to find a way to uncover the mystery and save their respective homes. Considering this is directed by Lord and Miller for the first directorial feature of theirs since 22 Jump Street 12 years ago, I was left very excited to see how they're going to adapt this very recent but very popular sci-fi novel, and because it stars Ryan Gosling, I got even more excited. He is one of my favorite actors working today, so I had a lot of reasons to be very excited for this movie as one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Having now seen it, very happy to say that Project Hail Mary is absolutely amazing.
What a wonderful day!
Ryan Gosling is as amazing in this movie as I hoped he would be. This is not only my favorite movie of his since Blade Runner 2049, but this is also one of my new favorite performances from him in a movie ever. He is as good as Dr. Ryland Grace as his character could have been. He is well-timed with the jokes, but he also has a sense of dramatic tension for this character, with him being in this very peculiar situation of him trying to piece together what he is doing here, what his mission is, and how he is able to act in this movie is impressive and pulls off some very impressive feats as a performer. And not only does it continue to highlight Gosling's really good comedic timing, but also highlight his dramatic chops to show you how good of an actor he really is, especially in his scenes with Rocky, who is just as amazing of a companion as I would hope. One of my favorite duos in a movie all year. I love Ryland Grace and Rocky so much. The non-linear storytelling structure is a very interesting choice for a story like this, and I thought it worked out very well by telling Dr. Ryland Grace prior to the present-day storyline of the movie with him on Earth, doing science stuff, trying to discover what he is hired for, him learning the ropes of what is going on here, versus the present where he is already out in space, where he meets Rocky and is on a spaceship trying to figure out how to complete the mission, and so as all the things he discovers along the way with the obstacles in his pathway. Project Hail Mary is able to develop the character of Dr. Ryland Grace and give us stakes for what Dr. Ryland Grace needs to accomplish and the consequences if he were to fail. But not only that too, but it also visually is astonishing. It is a gorgeously shot movie. The colors are infectious. It is great when you watch it on a big screen, and it is an incredibly looking space movie that highlights what happens when creatives have the right tools, the right equipment to pull off some incredible space visual effects with some mind-blowing shots. The story is very well executed and very well written by Drew Goddard. It has a very nice flow to it where everything makes a lot of sense to it with the character motivations, why Dr. Ryland Grace gets chosen for this mission, and so as how it builds into the next sequence of events in a way that is very exciting, very interesting to see unfold on the big screen, and so as with how they explore the science of it all from astrobiology, astrophages, and so much more, especially when it comes to the movements of all of these things from point A to point B. What makes Project Hail Mary stand out as a movie released this year is that it is a very hopeful movie. Following in a similar vein as something like Superman, this movie highlights this very infectious and optimistic energy about people coming together to change the world and save humanity and do a lot of good, big or small. And it is a very powerful feeling that Project Hail Mary evokes very successfully, where as the movie goes on, wherever there is this feeling of stakes and danger along the way, There is this power of the indomitable human spirit that is ever present in the veins of Project Hail Mary from start to finish. And when it is done very well, it can be a very phenomenal thing to see. And Project Hail Mary manages to do that in spades and really sticks with me as one of the best movies of 2026.
I love movies. Gosh, I love movies.
The music from Daniel Pemberton as a composer is fantastic. Not only that too, but Phil Lord and Christopher Miller as directors, considering they haven't directed anything in a while, despite having a really good track record. They also have executive produced some great movies over the past 10 years. It is nice to see that despite having a much bigger scale, something that is a good movie to balance out their zaniness and comedy with something more dramatic and bigger in scope on a sci-fi level, they still have the sauce as directors. They continue to be a very exciting creative force when working together. Project Hail Mary is another landmark win for their filmography. Despite being late to the game when it comes to reviewing this movie, now that it has been out for a few months, I love Project Hail Mary. It is one of my favorite movies of this year. Having now seen it twice, it still grows on me even more. This is one of the best movies of the year and will go down as one of the defining movies of the decade. I love this movie and I hope you guys go check it out if you haven't seen it. So in the end, I'm going to give Project Hail Mary an A+. Those are my thoughts on Project Hail Mary. Let me know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts on this movie? I would love to know that down below in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button, and stay tuned for more.